most playoff meetings all time between these two teams, the Packers and the Cowboys, and we welcome you to Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon here in Arlington, where the crowd is getting revved up. Spanish language broadcast available today on Fox Deportes, as the Packers have won the toss and they have elected to receive. They've done that a couple times this year. Jordan Love, we will see him first. So here this afternoon in Arlington. Well, you look at these Packers, and the season started like this. They started losing games. They lost 5 of their first 7, which you'd expect with a very, very young team. Then it changed on Thanksgiving. The big upset on the road in Detroit. They played great in that game, and their season turned around. And Jordan Love leads the NFL in passer rating since week 12. This young team found their way, made their way into the playoffs, and here they are. Love having an outstanding year, his first year as starting quarterback. Time for today's Verizon Business Coaching Spotlight. It's Mike McCarthy. You know, as Packers head coach, he was 2-0 against Dallas in the playoffs. Won Super Bowl 45 against Pittsburgh here in this stadium. Verizon Business, the official private wireless network of NFL coach-to-coach communication. So Mike McCarthy hoping for a result against his former team today. Welcome back to Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon. And here in Arlington, we start the second quarter, and Green Bay dominated the first quarter. They had the ball almost the whole time. Had a great opening touchdown drive from 75 yards out. Aaron Jones scoring. And now, after the interception by Jair Alexander, they're set up here. First and goal, though, after the holding penalty. Well, that massive cold front across America, it's 15 degrees in the Dallas area today. So they open the doors and people are racing to get in, to get out of that cold. And now, like, man, maybe we should go back outside. I don't know. It's been tough for the Cowboys. Packers fans, though, feeling it. I don't know if they're brothers or not, but one brother feeling good, the other one not so good.
That's a house divided right there.
Oh, my goodness. So, well, a lot of the talk about Jordan Love, well, of course, reflecting his recent play, right? Jordan Love's gotten better every single game. Patrick Mahomes said that, and certainly he's right. The man has got a great arm, Deebo Samuel. He's not joking. We've seen it on display here. Some wild throws, just so good. Then I think he's going to be great for a long time, Aaron Rodgers, and it's been impressive. And so is this first half by Green Bay. 2nd and 7 here. Here's a quarterback comparison with 2 minutes to go in this first half. Jordan Love has been sensational. And Dak Prescott in the offense, they've just not gotten going. Now they're trying to get a little movement here. Goes in tempo for that. These two have been on the same page all year.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Coming up at the Verizon halftime, it's simple. We'll go from these big guys to the big guys in the studio, breaking down the big plays from the first half of your game. We'll see you after you finish up the first half there in Dallas.
I'm sure Kurt and the guys will have a lot to talk about, just like we have. Here's the one thing, if you're Dallas, they get the ball to start the second half, right? So they've got 1:43 left, and now the Packers call a timeout. They've got 1:43 left, and they've got to use this to their advantage, Greg, right? I mean, look, they absolutely have to score here, and then they get it back to start the third quarter and, you know, have an opportunity to get back in the game. But this whole thing has felt weird from the get-go, and it's the #1 offense, #1 in the league, and they've just been off from the get-go.
Yeah, and they're even better at home.
Yeah.
37 points a game at home this year is pretty remarkable, and this is a must score, and I'm not talking a field goal. They have to find a way to make this, you know, 2-minute drive a touchdown and try to get back-to-back possessions, because at the rate this Green Bay offense is going, there's no signs of them slowing down. So if they want to cut this 4-score lead, it's even hard to believe we're saying that. They've got to take advantage of what will be hopefully back-to-back drives for them.
Here's up and good, and that'll end the half. So the Cowboys get on the board, and they will get the ball to start the third quarter. As a Verizon halftime coming your way after these messages with Kurt and the guys. 27-7 at the break. It is the playoffs here in Arlington, the wild card round. Touchdown Green Bay on the opening drive. Aaron Jones up the gut, surging forward. He's in. Caught for the touchdown, Dontavian Wicks.
Dallas finds themselves about as worst case situation you can have here.
Today's game flow presented by Progressive as we welcome you back to Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon, where Green Bay 27-7 lead over the Cowboys. We start this third quarter. Dallas will get the ball. Greg Olsen, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And so now the question is, how does Dallas get back in the game? They did the first part. They got some breaks. They got a big penalty call. They got the clock stopping, but they got the touchdown. They get the ball here.
Yeah, I think they got to pick up right where they left off there before the half. I think for the rest of this second half, they're almost in a modified 2-minute type. Expect them to continue to have a little tempo, continue to throw the ball early. They've got to score, obviously, multiple times and maximize possessions and extend this game as long as they can. And really, the reality is they got to get some stops on defense.
Yeah, a lot of drama going on. Obviously, down big. Downstairs we go to Aaron Andrews.
Well, I just spoke with Mike McCarthy, guys, and he said his biggest complaint with this offense there in the first half was we didn't have any rhythm. Also the turnovers, and he said exactly what Greg did right there. We just have to maximize every single possession we get now. I did ask Coach McCarthy about the shots we have of CeeDee Lamb and of, the interactions between him and Dak Prescott. He said, look, we're simply just talking coverage and what kind of adjustments need to be made.
Well, they need to figure something out because obviously CeeDee Lamb, who led the NFL with receptions, has 2 on 7 targets. And those two, Dak Prescott and CeeDee, were always just perfectly in sync. Today, not the case, but they've got to have to get back in it and to change that. And they, as we said, will get the ball to start this third quarter. Turpin from the 1 with a seam and gets out to the 25 as we go downstairs to Tom.
Well, KB, Matt LaFleur very fired up on his way in at halftime because he believed a false start should have been called on that Dallas touchdown to end the first half. That said, really pleased with the overall execution offensively and defensively. Pointed to the Savage pick 6 as a huge play in the game. Message coming out here for the second half, one play mindset. It's 0-0. Keep both feet down on the pedal and let's close this.
Well, we're talking about these first and second year players, right? You look at the class of 2023, the yearbook. Look at all of these players, and they're all major contributors to this offense. I mean, it's been amazing. They've all had their contributions. And then this, you're talking in the Super Bowl era, the most, and a lot of these aren't even close. No one's been close to this production. Really, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon is hurt today, but that's it. It's a bunch of guys that getting their first experience right now. Well, nobody has meant more in the NFL playoffs than these two franchises. And right now, Green Bay is a 7 seed, upending the number 2 seed Cowboys. Dallas, so they put a nice drive together to get a touchdown, and then 2-point conversion was good, but then called back for a penalty, and then it moved them way back, and they missed the extra point. So instead of a 2-possession game, make it an 18-point game. It's still a lot of time to go with 3:03 to go in this third quarter. And we bring on Dean Blandino, our rules expert, to explain how we went from a 2-point conversion to then kicking a 43-yard field goal. What happened there, Dean?
So Dallas was going for 2. We had the offensive pass interference, so now they have an option. They can go for 2 again, and we'll take it from the 2-yard line, move them back 10 yards. Or they could go for 1, and that penalty's enforced from the normal try spot, which is the 15. We end up snapping from the 25, and then Brandon Aubrey misses the extra point.
Wow, I'm glad you explained it because I had no idea. Welcome back to Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon. As we start the fourth quarter, do not adjust your screens. It's 41-16 Packers as a 7 seed, the last team to get in, and they are dominating. You see the numbers. Jordan Love has been terrific. Aaron Jones again, like he always does, owning the Cowboys. And this defense led by Joe Barry has made everything so tough on Dallas. It allowed them to build the big lead. And the Cowboys, frankly, haven't been able to stop Green Bay. They've punted, what, 1 time all game? Bounds. Jones against the Cowboys, something magical. I don't know because, he grew up in El Paso and he loves coming back to his home state. But, I mean, this is yards per game against the Cowboys ever. He's got the most. That includes today, 123 yards per game. Today, Jones has 115 yards rushing and 3 more touchdowns. It's pretty uncanny. I mean, but the one thing about it is he's changed them late in the year. He was hurt for most of the year. Remember, we had him week 1. He got hurt then and really was never the same the entire year. And Matt LaFleur said the beauty is he's got plenty of tread left on the tires. He's probably the healthiest he's ever been this late in the year, and he's playing like it. Well, we've talked obviously about Jordan Love following in the footsteps of Hall of Famers, right? How first postseason start, how did those guys do? Well, Brett Favre's 93 team, they won. He had 3 touchdowns there. Aaron Rodgers in 09, the wild card, lost, but he was sensational. And Love's team is barring a miracle among miracles, going to win, and he's been as good as it gets. Prescott near side to Gallup.
Yeah, just the entire middle of the field is wide open. All the linebackers are kind of walked, and Dak just sees that green grass and just decides to take it himself.
You know, Dallas has had playoff disappointment before. We started talking about this. Mike McCarthy has been fantastic. Won 12 games each of the last 3 years. They've been as good as anybody in the regular season. But this is maybe the most disappointing of all in my eyes.
Yeah, and again, there was a lot of speculation coming into today. Fair or unfair?
Yep. It
kind of comes with the territory. I don't think that's necessarily an indictment of the job Mike McCarthy has done here. You mentioned 3 years in a row with 12 wins. There's teams throughout the league that would cut their arm off for that level of consistent success. So I think it's important to keep it in perspective. But as we've said time and time again, Dallas is a different animal. It's just a different place to play, and you know the headlines tomorrow are going to pretty much say just that.
Onside kick, that's nowhere near 10 yards. It's getting closer. Now Green Bay will jump on it. Look, you talk about championship droughts. This is what the Cowboys are about, right? Well, the last time they were even in the championship game, it was 28 years ago. And the longest droughts in the league, Cowboys will continue. The Lions are trying to end that this year. Obviously, the Commanders won't. Green Bay, well, they've been there a lot in that same time frame. And now for Jerry Jones, who's seen so much regular season success. I mean, the team in the regular season is right now is as good as it's been since Jimmy Johnson was here. I mean, they win during the regular season, but the playoff success has eluded them in a big way. And you've got to figure out why it doesn't translate to the postseason. Coming up next, the State Farm postgame show. Look forward to that. Well, there's a lot to digest from this one for sure. As the Packers trying to become the first ever 7 seed to win a playoff game. That's only been in effect to have that extra team for the last 4 years, but still. What an effort by the Packers. They come into Dallas. They had them their first loss here all year, and the number 7 seed. This young team surprising everyone by making the playoffs, and now they're on the divisional to take on the number 1 seed 49ers. The State Farm postgame show comes your way next. Thanks for watching us, and we'll see you next week, but enjoy the postgame and the Packers moving on.
Welcome to the State Farm postgame show.
In a shocker, the Green Bay Packers advanced 48-32, and it wasn't even that close. As we welcome you to the State Farm postgame and get it right back out to Dallas, where Aaron Andrews is standing by with the hero quarterback of the Packers.
You come in here, the Cowboys have won 16 straight. You're the youngest team in the playoffs. You drop 48 points. I got to ask, how loose were you guys really?
Real loose, I guess. I mean, we came in here with the mindset that we were going to dominate. A lot of people counted us out, and, we didn't care about that. We knew what opportunity we had in front of us and made the most of it tonight. Yeah,
dominate, understatement. And I know a lot of Cowboys fans are going to be asking this too. How were you able to score this much on that defense?
I mean, they got a good defense, but I think we got a really good offense as well. Run game was awesome. Aaron Jones played a great game, had 3 touchdowns. O-line did a great job, but it was all-around team effort.
Yeah, and you said coming in it was a big accomplishment to make the playoffs. Now what is it to come in here, do what you did, and move on, Jordan? What does that mean?
It means a lot. It's just testament to the team and how we work, compete every week, and obviously now we got a chance to go play the Niners. So obviously another tough road game, great team. So get ready for that.
Got to go back to snow now.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to work. Congrats, Jordan.
Thank you.
As disappointed as I am in the Cowboys, you've got to give credit to Jordan Love and Coach Matt LaFleur. You know, we watched Jordan Love a few years ago, and we said, we're not real sure about him. But I think he really learned a lot being behind Aaron Rodgers. You look at him, he makes the throws off platform. He is a big quarterback. He's very mobile, and he is extremely accurate. I was amazed at how well he played, not only in this game, but really for the last half of the season.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers, they're the youngest team in the NFL, and the youngest team in the NFL to win a playoff game as well, which is pretty incredible. And what is that due to? That's due to coaching. Matt LaFleur has absolutely dominated the aspect of this game on the special team side, on the defensive side of the ball, and especially on the offensive side of the ball. With his game plan and scheme, just distributing that ball to all of his offensive skill players to where you can't key in on one guy. Matt LaFleur is going to be around for a long, long time.
Well, you know, as they said, what do we say? You got to stop the. Green Bay knew what the formula was. So what did they do? Feed Aaron Jones. If you don't stop him, we're going to keep running down your throat. 3 touchdowns. Then you understood all the young receivers they had. Wick stepped up the big touchdown early. Had Musgrave with the touchdown. You have Dobbs with the touchdown. All these guys are first or second year guys. So you got this quarterback. You have all those weapons, and you would go, oh, they're going to dominate him in the run game. The Cowboys couldn't stop anything they were doing. Now, Jordan Love looked like he went into the playbook. I don't know what they're teaching these guys up in Green Bay, but he was never had 2 feet on the ground throwing the ball, and he was as accurate as you've seen any quarterback in the league this season. So incredible game by him, incredible game all around, defense, everything else, even though the score doesn't indicate the defense played as well as they did.
They did. Jordan Love, 3 touchdown passes. Aaron Jones ran for 3 touchdowns. We'll get inside that victorious Packer locker room in just a bit and discuss the future for this man, Mike McCarthy. Might this have been his last game in Dallas?